Let's head 130 or so miles north of here to England's training base, St George's Park, where England players are going through training. Rob Dorset and Jessica Crichton are there for us. What are you seeing?
Yes, Rob, good morning to you. Welcome back to St George's Park. After the blazing heat yesterday, it's a lot more mild here, isn't it? The weather, it's a lot more overcast, so temperatures a lot more bearable. As you can see, training just getting underway behind me. They've just this moment finished a rendition of Happy Birthday, because it's Jordan Henderson's 31st today, so many happy returns to Jordan Henderson. And one of the first things I can tell you with this training session so far is good news for Gareth Southgate, because all 26 players are out on the training pitch and training, so he has a clean bill of health. Now, the man you can see on your screen there, Harry Maguire, he will be of key note in this training session. Will he play a part in this big game against Scotland? Of course, he's coming back from injury, hasn't played a competitive match, has he, since the 9th of May, still nursing that ankle injury that he's recovering from. He says he is fit and available to play, but having been out for 5 weeks, I wonder whether Gareth Southgate might look to take a more cautious approach and not play him yet, perhaps play him in the third group game, but just as long as he gets some game time before England get to the knockout stages, if that's what's to happen.
I think it's a really interesting one, Jess, because if Harry Maguire's fit, he plays. It's as simple as that from an England perspective. And against Scotland, Gareth Southgate would really want his physical presence, but the truth of the matter is he's not match fit. You don't get match fit when you've been out for as long as he has, almost 6 weeks. And so I'd be surprised if he threw him in from the start. If things are going well, they might bring him on a little bit later on, or as you say, probably in the final group game against Czech Republic. But we're talking about what he might do defensively, and of course he sprung a surprise, didn't he, in that first game against Croatia, with that man in the middle of your screen, Kieran Trippier, starting out of position at left back. I say out of position, he's played there an awful lot of times for England, and Southgate feels he's England's best defensive fullback. That's why he was included in that position. I think there's a strong chance that he'll be included again. But if you consider that Scotland's best attacking options are down the left-hand side, you think you've got Tierney there, you've got Andy Robertson attacking down that left as well. Maybe Trippier switches to right full-back to give a bit more cover there. Be an interesting one. And
that would leave way then, obviously, for Chilwell or Luke Shaw to come into position. Of course, Chilwell didn't even make the squad in the opening game against Croatia.
That was a surprise, wasn't it?
It was a big surprise, and I just wonder mentally, is that a bit of a leap to be catapulted from not even being picked in the squad to coming into the starting 11? Interestingly, overseeing this training session is the team psychologist, Dr. Ian Mitchell. So I just wonder whether he's out there to just ensure that the players are ready, whoever gets the nod for this game against Scotland tomorrow, that they're in the right place mentally.
It's interesting, Ben Chilwell, isn't it? Because he won the Champions League with Chelsea. And 2 weeks later, he wasn't in the squad of 23, the matchday squad for England. Look, I get the sense that Southgate might switch things around a little bit and try and keep everybody involved. I'd fully expect Ben Chilwell to be in the matchday squad of 23. The impression I get, and the hint that Southgate has given some of the other media outlets, is that he won't allow the same 3 players to be out of the matchday squad each time. I think that's important for morale. And if he has got Trippier in that right back position, offering a bit more defensive cover, he might like Ben Chilwell roaming forward, as he's done so effectively for Chelsea for the whole of this season, and offer another attacking option for Chilwell as he pushes forward.
And then we look at the attacking options, which we know England have an array of options. The man there, Marcus Rashford, wasn't able to make the starting 11 in the first game. I would say he probably has perhaps a good chance of starting this match, given his experience and given what he did for England in the World Cup in 2018. And we know that this is a player that Gareth Southgate likes. He's had 39 appearances for England under Gareth Southgate. That's more than any other outfield player.
That speaks volumes, doesn't it? I mean, look, if I'm honest with you, I in the build-up to that first game against Croatia, I thought it would be Sterling and Rashford. Those are the tried and tested from an England perspective. And mean, does Southgate want that level of experience in this match? I mean, we know that Rashford's carrying a couple of niggles. He said in some interviews yesterday that he hasn't played pain-free for some time now. He didn't allude to how long, but he's got a bit of an issue with his shoulder, a bit of an issue with his ankle, so he's not 100%. That's the point. And so could it mean the likes of Jack Grealish coming in instead? I think we can find a picture of Jack Grealish. Well, there he is, look, in the middle. Shorts rolled up, as usual, with Jack Grealish. Looks like he's just down the park, isn't he, rather than out there with an England training session, because he loves the game so much. But look, you and I have seen Jack Grealish in the warm-up games being used as a number 10. Exclusively as a number 10, never played in that wide attacking position, and Southgate has so many options in those wide attacking positions. I think if Grealish does play, it'll be as a 10, and so he's probably your first sub. He's probably the guy who comes on to try and change the game if you need him to, rather than starting in favour of Sterling or Rashford, don't you think?
Yeah, he's an impact player, isn't he? That's for sure. I know he says, he's desperate to get on the pitch and show everyone what he can do against Scotland, but like you say, he's so much competition for places. If he does play in that number 10, could he perhaps replace Mason Mount? But again, Mason Mount was very impressive in that opening game, and the one thing about Jack Grealish is that he draws fouls. He was the most fouled player in the Premier League last season, and you just wonder whether he might be used to draw fouls in this match against Scotland or the next match against the Czech Republic to win England free kicks and possibly win them penalties.
Another man who didn't feature in that match day squad against Croatia was Jadon Sancho. Look, there he is, you can see him at the back behind Tyrone Mings, and he finished the season so strongly for Borussia Dortmund. He will be absolutely chomping at the bit to get some game time. Again, I'd expect him to be in the matchday squad, but whether he makes that starting 11, whether Southgate makes many changes from a side that performed so well against Croatia and is settled, I think is a moot point.
Well, this is the danger of having the squad numbers extended to 26 from 23. It means there are going to be some players that miss out on the all-important match day. But what I have seen with Sancho is the England social media team releasing clips of him doing skills, having fun, showing that he's still very much part of this team. And I wonder if that's just a nod to say that Sancho's still happy, regardless of whether he's being picked or not.
What about Phil Foden, the man who got the nod? There he is, look, with that bright bleached blonde hair.
It gets brighter every time I see it.
I think he's had it bleached again. But look, a lot of people have referenced the similarities between him and Paul Gascoigne. Gascoigne doing so well in Euro 96, that famous goal against Scotland. You just sense that this is the sort of match where there might be a bit of fate, there might be a bit of history created. And if Phil Foden with the Gaza haircut was to get that nod again and score a wonder goal, it would be remembered in folklore. But he got the nod from Southgate for the opening game on the right hand side of that attacking three, and he's done so well for England there in the time he's been. He's done so well with Manchester City. It's a big call to drop him, but I don't think Southgate sees it as dropping them. He's got so many wide options. I think he would say, look, we're using our options. We're utilising the squad. Everybody deserves a chance. So whether Phil Foden gets another chance to start, I think is an interesting one.
Yeah, it is, and we will expect to see a lot of changes in those wide positions. One position we perhaps won't be expecting to see change is the man up front, Harry Kane, a stalwart of this England side, a key player. Perhaps didn't perform to the high standards he might have expected in that opening match.
He got that knock as well against the post, didn't he?
So it's good to see him out moving around, looking loose and seemingly unaffected by it.
Yeah, I don't think there's any injury concerns for Harry Kane, and it'd be just like him to score against Scotland, maybe get a couple, and everybody talk about them being a challenger for the Golden Boot again.